As of right now, my type 2 diabetes diagnosis has been reversed and my A1C is 4.8.
From 7.6.
Yeah, from 7.6 down to now 4.8.
Nice, nice. That's 4.8 is like normal. Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today we have a very special guest, and we just had a very short chat before we kind of started recording, so you guys are in for a treat. Aisha is with us. Aisha, she's gonna be speaking a little bit about her wellness journey, some of the outcomes she's got, some of the ups and downs, and so we look forward to having a great discussion, and that's coming up next. First of all, what was the great outcome that you got? Was it weight loss? Was it disease reversal? Why are people going to be interested in listening to this interview?
I think people are going to be interested because of the fact that like you said, it is because of the significant amount of weight loss and disease reversal, and also just a continuing journey to health in general.
Okay, excellent. Now we talked a little earlier, and you said that weight had been a challenge for you pretty much all your adult life. Did it also
All my
stem
life,
from
even when
childhood?
I was a kid,
Tell me a little bit
I
about.
remember trying to lose weight I remember trying to lose weight when I was like 9 or 10 years old. And
Wow.
I just tried to do the exercise component of it, but my eating habits weren't really there yet because I was surrounded by junk food. And
Hmm.
I lost 6 pounds and then I quickly gained that back. And I was like so discouraged.
Mm. What is the mindset of a 9-year-old girl who feels like she's overweight and has to lose? Like, were you getting picked on at school? Your maybe your siblings? Like, how did you even
Yes.
come to that?
Yes, I was teased. I was teased for my looks. I was teased and bullied for my weight. Um, I remember being at 10, I remember being 10 years old and trying to lose 20 pounds. The first time I tried to lose weight, trying to lose 20 pounds, and, having doctors and people telling me that I was big. And I wasn't sure whether that was, I was big because I was tall or because I was big because I was big. And I had like a pot belly since I was 8 years old.
Mm.
So the mindset was, okay, well, let me just try to lose 20 pounds. And I was only able to lose
Wow.
about 6 pounds. It was a definite obsession for me.
So at that point, you already had a really poor relationship with food. When you were growing up, did your mom or did your guardian did they cook for you, or was it just like eating out, or
They did cook. They did cook food because my dad is Jamaican, so, and my was American. She passed away in 2018.
okay.
Um, they would cook, but my parents both had jobs, so they would cook sometimes, but a lot of the times we would make there would be a lot of like instant foods like ramen noodles, like
Mm.
instant cup of noodles. And I remember, there being like lots of cereals and, sugary yogurts and, a lot of junk food, like the snack packs of food, like the
Mm.
snack packs, like the Cheetos and the Doritos. Like I had a hardcore Dorito addiction
Oh,
when I was a kid.
wow. That's so we've been learning a lot about the gut health just in our staff. We have a couple people who have like really difficult gut issues that we're addressing, and what we're really starting to understand is that processed food, especially as a child, does some really crazy damage to the body. How many times would you say that you had attempted to address your weight? So we know at 9, 10 years old, were there other moments where you're like, yo, I got to get this weight off?
When I was in, I would say about middle school, like seventh or eighth grade, I saw a doctor and I was feeling pretty good that day. And this doctor was near where I lived. And he told me, and I think I was a little bit in the lower 200s. And he basically gave me a stern talking to saying that I need to lose weight. And then that really sent me into like a bit of a depression.
Mm.
And I did want to lose weight, but my parents, they weren't into having me join like any sports teams or anything. I did focus on losing weight when I was in high school because I decided to join the high school tennis team, and as an effort to try to um, drop the weight. I wasn't as successful, but knowing what I know now, like I was like in like the 200s then when I was in high school.
Mm. And
And then
how tall are you, by the way?
I'm about 5'9" and a half, 5'10",
Okay,
depending on who's measuring me.
gotcha. So, what when was the breaking point for you? Like what happened, or how did you initiate the change that ultimately got you to where you are today?
Well, there was a time in my early 20s where a I was in a very abusive living situation with a roommate, and she cooked a lot, but we also ended up eating like a lot of unhealthy takeout foods. So I ended up packing on the weight until I got up to like 298.
Mm.
And then I moved away finally, like after a huge like um court battle. Like I ended up moving away, and I started to slowly lose the weight. But I think the breaking point for me was in March of 2016. And through this whole time, I was like so scared of becoming type 2 diabetic because my grandmother on my mom's side was type 2 diabetic, and I saw her having to go to dialysis and use a
Mm.
feed and get like both of her legs amputated up to her knees.
Yeah.
And that was really scary, and I didn't want to go through that. But I looked at a lot of, and I was eating a lot of takeout, and like unhealthy takeout at that. And was doing like a lot of Googling and Googling symptoms of type 2 diabetes. And one of the symptoms was the smell of the urine. And I just like one day I smelled my urine. This was 2 months before I went into the doctor. And then I just knew right then and there that I had type 2 diabetes. And it was like,
Wow.
okay, all right, here you have type 2 diabetes now. Like, what are you going to do about it? Like, you can do something about it. So that was pretty much my breaking point.
That's the diabetes in our community is a major problem, and most of us probably can say that one of our grandparents or aunts or uncles had it. My dad's father had diabetes and had one of his legs amputated, and it ultimately is what killed him. Not the diabetes, but the result of his leg being amputated and not being able to move around because he's just very active and he was always out, and kind of killed his motivation and drive. But um, the interesting thing about it is oftentimes when we focus on the outcome we don't desire, we inadvertently attract it. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Because we spend so much energy focusing on the thing we don't
what
want.
we don't want, that we end up bringing it closer to ourselves.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So at that time when you had started doing your Googling and everything, did you have an understanding that you could naturally reverse diabetes? Or how did you think you were going to be able to attack it?
Um, at virtually around that same time, I started to discover um I went on Facebook and I saw a group by Dr. Jason Fung, And then a little later on, I started reading his books, and I just knew that yeah, and I started reading the Diabetes Code, the Obesity Code, and the Complete Guide to Fasting. Those are the three books by him that I've read.
Great
And
books.
yeah, they're really great. They're really great books. And yeah, and also the really finding that Dick Gregory's book On the Sidewalk, and there's a chapter in that book that describes that he talks about fasting.
Tell us about you. You said you found Dick Gregory's book on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I was walking. Yeah, I live in New York City. I live in Brooklyn, so I was walking down Eastern Parkway, and I looked down, and there on the sidewalk is a copy of Dick Gregory's Natural Diet for Folks Who Eat Cooking with Mother Nature. And I'm at first I thought it was a library book and somebody just like dropped it down there. So I checked it, and of course it's not a library book. And then I went to a security guard standing in front of the library, the central branch of the library at in Brooklyn. And and he was like finders keepers. That's what he told me. Yeah, so I took the book. So I took the book home, and I told my doctor who I see now, and she said somebody up there is looking out for you.
Hmm. So you learned about the disease. You understood that you were able to reverse it, and then you had an outline for kind of how to eat and how to attack this. So when did you finally decide? Okay, I'm gonna start. I have a plan. I'm gonna put the plan together, and I'm gonna implement.
I started slow. I did intermittent fasting. I started 24, and I noticed right away that I would naturally gravitate towards eating um varying between one meal a day or two meal a day, like eating two meals within a 4 hour window.
Mm,
And that seemed to work for me for a while. And I had a point, and then also I started doing yoga and Pilates. Like they had like a few free outdoor classes, like yoga on the Hudson and Pilates on the
mm,
Hudson. um so I would take those classes and start doing yoga, and I started a meditation practice too.
mm.
I started doing, which was very beneficial in helping me shift my mindset to the positive.
So I want to, for the benefit of the audience, because people are going to be inspired, and they're going to get a lot out of this conversation. So when you started, I guess, fasting in 2018, what was your starting weight? What was your end what was your end weight? And then what was the process? I know that you had mentioned a little bit of fasting. I just want to kind of do it very clearly so people can maybe get
Get a
inspiration.
sense of
Yeah.
time. And
Mm-hmm.
um well, my start weight was probably up in the upper 290s. I know in January, July of late July of 2020, late July 2020, I was 295 pounds.
Okay.
And my weight now is around 160.
Congratulations. That is insane.
I'm
So
still not done.
no, I understand, but you're in the 100 plus club.
Yeah.
Like it's
I
um
lost, yeah, I lost 100 plus pounds. Like I managed to lose 100 plus pounds like twice.
twice.
Yeah.
So there was and that's the thing that I wanted people to be able to hear, because even Steven, my brother, has had his ups and downs. He had lost 140 pounds twice. And I think when you lose it the first time and you gain it back, it can be very discouraging, because you know how much time and effort it took to get it the first time.
Yeah.
But how did you kind of get back how did you get back motivated after you kind of gained it back the first time?
It was basically my mindset. Like mindset and consistency is key. So I just told myself, I told my, like, when I did myself the first time, I told myself weight loss would be easy and fun. That's what I
Oh,
told myself. I tell myself that. Like,
that's
if
a,
you tell yourself something's going to be hard, then you're going to find things pop up in your reality that's going to reflect how hard it is. But I told myself it would be fun and it was going to be easy. And
that's
so,
so smart. Seriously, like that is because of how I know the that is yes, that was good. That was very good. Keep going. I'm sorry.
yeah, like I just told myself, well, who says that it's hard? I mean, I have control over my mind, and I was just determined. I mean, this was basically like well, pretty much like a lifelong dream of mine to
Mm.
to get this weight off. And I just told myself, wait, like, I'm like, who says that it has to be hard? Like, don't tell yourself that. Like, tell
Yes.
yourself weight loss is going to be fun and easy.
I don't know if like you realize how impactful what you're saying is because okay, so you're learning about the metaphysical, right? And the
Yes.
power of words. I've never heard anybody say, "Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's fun and easy." You know what I mean? Like that makes such a huge difference, and it's something that I practice as well. It's ingrained in me at this point, you know, because you just make a habit out of just saying things, you know, positive affirmations and reinforcement. I love how you have played an active role in this because I think that a lot of people, you know, we want to go to the doctors or we want to go to a fitness guy or even our dietitian, and we kind of want them to like do it for us. But I think that you've played a very active role in this process, which ultimately you have to get the results.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's I think part of the reason why you've been so successful. So you said you were doing like, you know, one meal a day and then also like a small eating window. Are you currently fasting?
Yes, I'm currently fasting. Right now. I feel inspired to do rolling 7-day fasts.
Okay.
So this is, yeah. So this is like I'm in the middle of like my second rolling 7-day fast. But I just
Beautiful.
started. I fasted for 21 days, which was like the first time I actually did a 21-day fast. But that's not
Mm,
my longest fast. I've done like a few 30-day fasts,
okay.
but I've never done like a 21 day. So I get to 21 days and I feel so good. I just want to keep extending it.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. That's the beauty of like becoming acclimated to fasting, I would say.
Hmm.
Um, you people typically get it on the front end and kind of on the back end. There's a middle part where it gets really dicey. But like when you very first start fasting, or at least for me and a lot of people I talk to, they're like, you know, okay, I'm gonna do 4 days, and then they're at 4 days, they're like, I feel pretty good. Let's just keep going. Um, and that's a beautiful place to be. So
Yeah.
there was one other thing I wanted to just briefly touch on because you had mentioned that when you started this journey, you were dealing with a diabetes diagnosis. So where are you in that process as far as
Um,
diabetes?
as of right now, my type 2 diabetes diagnosis has been reversed, and my A1C is 4.8,
Yes, that's what I
down
wanted
from
to hear.
7.6.
From 7.6.
Yeah, from 7.6 down to now 4.8.
Nice, nice. That's 4.8 is like normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because yeah, and I just told myself I was going to do it. And like, I have other health issues too, like PCOS and hypothyroidism. And it's like, I didn't let me, because I've read that those conditions can make it a little bit tougher to lose weight. But I just told myself weight loss is going to be easy and fun.
Just completely negate that. Weight loss is going to be easy and fun. I love it. I'm so happy to hear that you've officially reversed your diabetic condition. And, you know, because people need to know it's possible. And
Yes.
one thing that you did not do throughout this entire interaction, you didn't make excuses. You didn't talk about why you couldn't do something, and you just literally, like, you just talked about the steps to accomplish the goal. I hear, and this is not a to say, I understand people, everyone's mindset's different, but I just wanted to highlight the fact that we can make excuses about anything. Oh, you've been overweight since you were a child. You've been dealing with it all your life. Maybe you're just born that way. Maybe you're it's genetic or whatever. You didn't do any of that. You just said, "Hey, I'm gonna get this done." And we can find an excuse for anything. You know what I mean? Like, we can always find a reason not to do something. Me and my friends, we used to have this saying when we were going through a self-development phase in our early 20s. If it's something you want to do, you'll find a way. If it's something you don't want to do, you'll find an excuse.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I did want to give you an opportunity to kind of put a cap on it. If there's anything that you, any words or tips or tricks or anything that you can kind of share with the audience, and also if you want to like, I guess, give people your Facebook or something, so they can interact with you through the Facebook group. I don't know if you're on Instagram or anything like that, but I want to give you
No,
that opportunity.
I'm not on Instagram. Like I'm not that savvy for Instagram yet.
Yeah.
Even though people tell me that I should have an Instagram. I do have a Facebook. Aisha Amira. That's my Facebook. That's my personal Facebook. Like I don't have like a page or anything like that. Like I'm not
Right.
killing
But
anything.
you're in the Facebook group, so
I'm in
people
the
be able to.
Facebook community.
Yeah.
I'm in the
Okay.
Facebook group.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Tips and tricks, like totally it's not necessarily the easy thing. I think the hardest thing is to like shift your mindset.
Mm.
It's mindset, and it's also consistency, and like don't beat yourself up if you, because I've had many starts and fits and starts and stops and starts on
Mm.
this journey too.
I love it.
Like keep it moving is what I like to say.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. It has been amazing. I always get so much out of doing these interviews. I appreciate your willingness to share and be open and genuine. And I genuinely believe that many people are going to get great benefit from hearing your story, because you have a very similar journey as a lot of other people. You're dealing with childhood obesity or just childhood, being overweight, and then developing diabetes and seeing that in your family, and then dealing with all the emotional trauma that comes along with it. And, you know, I think this is going to be so beneficial. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.
Well, listen, y'all, if you got something beneficial out of this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos like this, my goal is to do more interviews. It's some of the most impactful content we have. Yo, subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I will see you all next time.